Right now, Bitcoin is tumbling down. I want to give you a little breakdown as to what's happening, how this relates, of course, to what we're seeing in the markets in general. Okay, so let's take a look right here. If you can see this, we are looking at the daily chart going all the way back to August, and you can see the ebbs and flows of the Bitcoin market. While it peaked out right here in November around that 68,000 mark, it has come down ever since. In fact, right now, as I record this video, it's sitting at about 48,000. So it is down significantly. And many have questioned what has happened here. Is this because of the risk off mentality? Is that happening? Well, only in time we will see. But you can see what has happened now as I record. Who knows what's happening by the time you're watching this video. The wick has really grown as you see this candle shrinking, essentially telling us that while the selling pressure was clearly there, it has come up. I mean, at one point, it was at 42,000. 42,000 in a very short period of time, dropping over 10,000 in less than a day, a few hours, in fact. Take a look at this. This is your daily. You got the 4-hour, and then you have the 148, and you could see the selling pressure clearly on. Now, if you look at the different indicators that I have rolling right here, we got the stock RSI on the top, and then the RSI on the very bottom. It is clearly oversold. Look at this purple line. That is the Bollinger Band. Okay, when we look at the bottom Bollinger Band, it has fallen through. What does that mean? Essentially that the selling pressure has been overdone in the short term. This is all short term. And of course, that generally reverses. If I go to smaller time frames, you will see that as I record this, that's happening right now. You never know. You never know. It could turn around again. But just taking a look at this, we moved out of that Bollinger Band. If you could see, if I zoom in, super zoom in here on this 92-minute chart, it falls out of the Bollinger Band, and then you could see the buyers coming in, trying to push it back up into that Bollinger Band. Okay, that's all it's showing you here. And going into the smaller time frames down to 35-minute, you could see same situation essentially. But remember, we came from 42,000 all the way up. So we will see what happens in the next little while. You know, when we look at what's happening with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin though, it is highly correlated, if I show you here, to what we're seeing in the markets. Bitcoin's correlation with stocks grows as risk appetite drops. Correlation coefficient among the highest such readings this year. So you could see the chart, you could take a look, they give you a whole breakdown, but I just want to note the fact that if you got $1 billion fund and they're invested in Apple stock, Amazon, give me some other big names out there, this and that, and then they have some Bitcoin. Or you got a rich investor and they're in Bitcoin as well as a whole portfolio of stocks and bonds. Are they going to sell off the Bitcoin first, or are they going to sell off their Apple? I'm not talking about the hardcore supporters, the true believers in Bitcoin. I'm talking about the fund companies who are just there to make a buck. Well, I believe that they're going to sell off at least some of their Bitcoin into these highs, because maybe they bought a little earlier and they've seen their profits and so on. So it just shows us a little bit potentially of that volatility. But anybody invested in Bitcoin knows that there's a lot of volatility in general. But now, with Powell saying, hey, we're going to potentially increase interest rates sooner than expected, that's spooking the markets, and maybe Bitcoin is starting to feel that. What do you think? I want to know. I'm just a spectator here, bringing information to you. I don't try not to put my opinion into this, okay? So I want to know what you think. Put it down in the comments below. If you simply appreciate the information, hit that thumbs up button. I do appreciate that very much. By clicking that button, you share this information indirectly through the algorithm to notify people that this is an interesting video. So I do appreciate that very much. I'll see you on the next one.